having begun your ND prep, just sort of your thoughts on what you see from their offense, maybe some of the issues they can pose.
Yeah, I think I think like starting with the tailback number 4. I think number 4 is a unique, dynamic playmaker. He's got the ability to take the ball and go the whole way real quickly. So I think number 4 poses a problem for us. I think the quarterback does some good things, with his legs to keep plays alive. And I think their receiver number 5 also is another guy you got to be able to look after. So they have playmakers on the field. I think it's going to be it's a really great challenge for us defensively because they create some matchup issues that I think our guys are excited to attack on.
Obviously, Northern Illinois' defense had some success. Is there anything you can take from that you say, this translates to what we're doing here a week later? Yeah,
I think schematically they do some different things, but I think just when you turn the film on, like the first thing you notice about Northern Illinois is like just how hard they played. They played hard and they played physical, and I think that's the standard here for what we do. So if we can match what Northern Illinois was able to do, I feel like if we can be physical up front, if we can really knock back and squeeze the line of scrimmage and stop the run and make them have to throw the ball and do things down the field with this young offensive line, that's going to be a positive for us. So just effort and physicality is what we got to stress all week long.
I know everybody's kind of anticipating the return of Nyland Green whenever that happens, but having that game and then an idle week and now this, the guys who are going to be on the field if Nyland can't play, how big is that kind of 2-week stretch where they get familiar with each other as a unit?
Yeah, I think it's great. Obviously familiarity and being able to play with each other, you kind of feel out how people play and kind of feed off of that type of stuff and know what they're going to do and react. So the more these guys play football together, the better they're going to be. And I think I said this from the very beginning. With all the new faces in college football and new rosters and everything, whatever team can kind of gel the fastest is going to have some success. So the fact that we were able to kind of buy a little bit more time to build that camaraderie, that gel, if you will, and it's only going to help us.
You mentioned Riley Leonard in there. You guys obviously have the benefit of going back a few years of data on him before he got to Notre Dame, I guess, to get a look at him. Just what have you seen on film from him that concerns you that maybe just hasn't shown up yet this season?
I think the stuff that we've seen from when he was at Duke to even his first 2 games is his ability to extend plays with his legs. I think that's a unique thing that quarterbacks, if you have the ability to do that, it creates a whole another a layer to what they're able to do. So I think for us to have success, we have to know where he's at and kind of keep him bottled up as best as we can and just make him have to earn everything he does. So like that the thing that he does really well is making plays outside the pocket and his running ability. And if we can kind of limit what he does, I think we got a great chance.
What's impressing you the most about Antonio Stevens right now, and maybe the development that he's had last season to now?
Yeah, I think really just his leadership and his confidence is infectious. I think really Michigan of last year when he got out there and played a lot of snaps against Michigan and was able to play physical and get guys, tackle guys and do things. I think that was kind of the springboard that kind of led him to where he's at now. And I think he learned a lot from Sanusi Kane and how to play that position. And Coach O'Brien's done a great job with him in developing him. And I think he realizes now it's his time to shine. And he's a big dude, man. Like for what we do defensively and how we utilize that position. And he's got the great frame and body to do what we want him to do. And I think he's got a great leadership ability about him. And he kind of holds others to a high standard. And when he's doing that and the other teammates are doing that, we don't have to. You got a strong defense.
A lot of attention obviously focused on who was transferring out of your defense, who was transferring into your defense, but he's obviously a holdover. Did you guys know which players would then maybe rise to the occasion with that increase in talent that was coming into the secondary, or were you kind of eager to find out which guys, like maybe him, would step up and accept that challenge?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think we had guys that, we anticipated them kind of like having a great off season, a great spring, and then translate this to the fall. And then there's always those surprises, and I think competition is going to make everybody better. So with the more kids that every year I'm trying to out-recruit our current roster, right? So if I out-recruit our current roster, that means we're going to be better next year, and I think everybody realizes that. We tell our players that, and it makes them play harder. And competition brings out the best of everybody. So I think for Tony to go out there and do what he did in the current climate, and it just proves like his resolve, and he doesn't care who's on the field. He's going to outwork him, outplay him, and do what he wants to do. And I think that's going to make us this entire team better that way.
Kind of piggybacking off of what you said about Riley Leonard, how valuable is it to have guys like Hudson and Ryan Brown, where you can go up against them in practice and they kind of give you a similar look to where they can make plays with their legs?
Oh, they're great. They're a pain in the ass. They're in fall camp, but they're great to see it then and then realize we ain't playing them on Saturdays, So we've seen guys scrambling and running around and it tests the limits of our defense. But yeah, absolutely. For the last month, we've been playing these guys that kind of scramble and extend plays with their legs, and our guys know what the effect that it can happen, positively and negatively. So it's been great with that.
Other questions? Back to Sam.
You mentioned Bo Collins, number 5. Do they line him up in different spots at receiver? And if so, will that challenge multiple corners, I guess?
No, he's kind of usually on one side of the field, and he kind of says where he's at. So, the beauty of what they do is like they don't do a whole lot formationally. They kind of line up where they line up and get lined up to play. So, we'll have a general idea where he's at come game day.
Kevin, your history with Notre Dame, have you ever played against them, coached against them? And when you hear Notre Dame, what's the first thing that pops in your head going back to your childhood?
Yeah, so I'm Irish and Catholic and grew up a Nebraska fan. So, but if that tells you anything, but no, my dad played in Nebraska, so I grew up a big Nebraska fan. And Notre Dame was kind of an afterthought. Never really thought much about them, to be honest with you. All my buddies were Notre Dame fans. It's just my family raised me a different way, and nothing but respect for the guys though. As far as what they've been able to do, their history and everything like that. But this is our first time actually playing against them, whether as a player or a coach. So I'm excited for the opportunity.
Anything else for Coach Kane? All right, Coach.
All right,
thank
guys.
you.
Appreciate it.